So I have with me Ohad Goldberg, who is the AstraZeneca Israel company president. And Ohad, I want to take you this moment, I guess in February, when we understand there's a world pandemic. You are president of a company that developed a full line of drugs, a full line of digital health services. How does it change your priority? How does it change the way that you manage the pipeline of product and services that you were developing at that time?
So I think the title is uncertainty, right? Because now in hindsight, we know much more than we knew in February, March. But the reality was that we didn't know how to assess the situation. It was evolving very quickly. And I must say, it's very basic, but our first concern was first of all, safety, and the team safety, the ability to continue conveying life-saving medication. So I think we first of all prioritized what is currently life-saving and what we need to keep procurement and production of, which was of vital importance, and then try to assess what we continue and what we don't. But with the criteria of, first of all, life-saving, what patient needs first, what our employees, how we keep them most safe. And then we started triggering other activities. But I think that was the first one. We did all the senior management team did a full-day workshop around scenario planning, understanding exactly what we do, and we also put in a social element of how we contribute, how we free budgets to help specifically the Israeli ecosystem that we knew was going to go into crisis. So I think it's, life-saving first, understanding that there's a lot we don't know, and starting to convey budgets to other directions.
But given that your company is one of the leading companies now in the race to the vaccine, and we expect the vaccine to be ready soon, what's the new dynamic of developing a vaccine? We understand there was a lot of flexibility or acceleration in the processes of developing a vaccine. What was the reality of development which is different than how we develop drugs in normal time?
So first of all, AstraZeneca is partnering with the Oxford Group here. So AstraZeneca is giving the production and distribution commercialization. And I think, first of all, is partnering with the people that know best, right? It's understanding what you know and what you don't. It's partnering with the leading development in vaccines, moving very rapidly. I think AstraZeneca, first of all, needed to ensure that there is enough supply capacity. So you think about, we're actually creating 2 billion supplies of vaccination when we don't yet have firm understanding that this vaccine works. And this takes a lot of risk, a lot of work with governments. And then, as Leif said, the pandemic is there, the patients is out there. So it's just getting the trials as widely as possible out. We already have phase 2-3 running, which you think about it, the first vaccine was actually constructed early Feb, late Jan, and we're already in phase 2-3. This is dramatic acceleration.
We understand from conversations we had that regulators were adapting the way that they enable this kind of like parallel phases or parallel stages in the development. How did you experience the regulator reaction towards the vaccine development?
So I'll take a step back from vaccines for a second. AstraZeneca works in devastating diseases, right? Cancer, heart failure. For quite a few years, and we're looking at regulator, but if I look at the FDA, there is a lot of breakthrough therapy designations. So there's an open understanding that there are therapies we need to move fast upon, that there is currently no standard of care or not an adequate standard of care. AstraZeneca has a lot of experience in accelerating with the regulator based on that understanding. I think here the situation is exactly like that. The regulator understands that there is a devastating need. We move quickly. Obviously, all safeguards are in place, but you have a constant discussion with regulators, and that's the same for all pharmaceutical companies. So it's about the vacuum of therapy and how much we need to work together.
Well, there is certainly an Israeli perspective. You are the president of AstraZeneca in Israel, and AstraZeneca, I think, expressed a lot of confidence in the Israeli ecosystem by signing recently an agreement with JVP to open a hub for digital innovation. What's the reason you chose Israel, and why Israel is attractive as an ecosystem for innovation?
So AstraZeneca has been in Israel for a bit more than 12 years. I think it took us maybe a bit more time to understand and to get the full endorsement. But we saw, first of all, the level of science and the level of medical practitioner is just outstanding. We know there is a thriving phase 1, 2, 3 clinical studies across the Israeli centers. And if you put on that the electronic medical records, right, that each sick fund has, the unique ID number, with the cyber technology, the ecosystem around technology in general, whether through industry, military, you bring these all together, this is exactly what makes innovation happen today. And once we could get the full corporate endorsement to that, going forward was very easy. And within 6 months, 7 months, we have 9 startups working in different area of prediction, of electronic data, of decision support tools, which is really very fast. And when I don't think in AstraZeneca globally there's such a fast cycle of innovation, which just shows what Israel has to promise.
One question on that. We see that the pandemic not only changed the way that we go with medicine, but also changed provisioning of health services and caregiving. How do you see this innovation or trends in innovation that probably will evolve with the pandemic?
So first of all, it took COVID. COVID transformed the way we work internally, right? We started working virtually within a day. I think the physicians are seeing the same thing. I talk with a leading specialist in Israel, and they've gone to 50-60% remote consultation where possible. Obviously, they need to see the patient, but moving much more to remote consultation, very quick adaptation of sensors and monitors where possible. Obviously, the world is not perfect, but there is much more ability and time to listen and adapt these technologies. I would envision a world where we go much less physically to the physician, where we self-diagnose based on sensors at home and platforms, digital platforms. That's, by the way, one thing we're investing in Play Beyond Bio. All this together, at the end of the day, will bring better care for patients.
One can guess it's a good time to be a data scientist if want to penetrate the digital health innovation in Israel, because it's going to be more about digital innovation rather than about science and medicine?
I wouldn't say that it's going to skew 180 degrees that direction, but I think it's the good place to be, whether it's in epidemiology, whether it's in science, whether it's in tech, and the ability to bring them together is exactly what's happening together. And as a pharmaceutical company, being able to really to bring a promise with vaccination on top of these 3 elements is the place to be. Unfortunately, it's in a devastating situation, but that's where we prevail.
Thank you so much, Ohad, for these inspiring words and for the promise for Israel innovation ecosystem. Thank you so much.
Thank you.